Swami Mahadevananda meets Swami Vishnu-devananda for the first time, 1968. This recording is done at the 50th anniversary of the Shivananda Yogi Camp.
What was your first meeting of Swami Vishnu?
Me?
Yes.
It's a long story. I'll try to make it short. I was living in Paris at that time, or 1968. It was a very exciting period to be in Europe. Whatever went on here the year before in Berkeley was happening, 2 years before, it was happening in Europe, in France, in Germany, in Italy, a little bit in Spain. And as a matter of fact, they closed down the Sorbonne University for 8 months. They couldn't go to school. The students took over completely, complaining against the government. But then Charles de Gaulle came with his Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Maurice de Morville, and put a nice blanket, like they did here, over the whole new ideas, a new philosophy, a new wind of change, and everybody and everything went back to the same thing. So at that time, I'm fed up. So I left Paris. The idea to come to the United States, and I did so in charter flights. At that time, it was cheap. You know how much was it? Charter between Paris and Boston? $250 round trip. Okay? It was pretty cheap. So I did came and came to Boston. I wanted to go to one of the colleges there. They told me to take a little while. It was month of August. And I went around for a while. I didn't know anybody. Then suddenly a telegram came from the very charter flights agency from Paris saying that I had to return to Paris, not from Boston, but from Montreal. At that time was the Expo, 67 and 68, it was like 1 year long. So probably they tried to create a little bit of interest. I wasn't so happy, said supposedly I did not have any money, I was stuck in Boston, so to speak. Anyway, I came with the Greyhound to Montreal, and I went to see the Expo for 2 or 3 days, 4 days. 4 days actually. Then I got a little tired. I said, let's see if there's anybody I can talk to. I was already practicing yoga. I was already vegetarian. So I looked up in the Yellow Pages at that time, and I saw Shivananda Institute, and then Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Center. I said, Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Center looks a little bit too long. Let's try the Shivananda Institute. And I tried, but was it silent? It was closed. Then I tried the Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Center, and the old lady Swami was there, Swami Mahadevananda, for those of you who met her. And she said, yes, this is yoga, and what do you do? What's it all about? So one is a Swami from India, from Shivananda Ashram, Rishikesh. I said, good, can I meet him? Because already I met some other Swami in Europe at that time. But it's not here, she said, it's in Laurentians. Where is the Laurentian? Well, it's 50 miles north of Montreal. And if you're coming right away, within an hour there'll be a car coming to here. So I rushed up from downtown Montreal. I was staying at the YMCA. And I came up here, was Saturday morning, and in the hotel met Swami Vishnu. And I played around the swimming pool, the same one, and nothing happened. Satsang at night, nothing happened. So I said, well, tomorrow morning I have to go. Then the Swami said, no, he'll come out today, I'm sure. So around about 11 o'clock, he came around, slowly was walking around. Somebody around the cave said, go and meet him. And I went in the Sri Krishna temple, Sri Krishna tree there. And I was trying to introduce myself. He didn't let me talk. I mean, he knew it was natural. Okay? And he said, stay here, stay here, stay here. I said, all right. So I don't have even a toothbrush. I came yesterday. Supposed to go back yesterday. I'm still here today, and I just came to see you. He said, don't stay here, get a room. He really insisted very hard. So I got a room. I said, I'm not going back tonight. It was a long weekend. And I stayed on. Then on Monday, I said, well, maybe it's a good idea. Instead of going back to Europe and then come back next year, a lot of money, time traveling, a lot of everything, might as well stay in Montreal. And then when the papers are ready at the university, take a Greyhound and go down, it's not far. But the problem is, I had a little Italian passport and said, well, I've got 3 months, so I need at least, a year or something, or 6 months. So then I went immigration on Wednesday morning. And I said, this is my passport, and I would like to stay here for at least another 6 months to 8 months. Can you do something? Well, he said, only way that you can stay here for that long period of time if you decide to stay here as landed immigrant. I said, who wants to stay here landed immigrant? This is Canada for me, just, the Indians, boom, 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 boom. I said, who wants to stay in Canada? But then I thought, well, before going by that costs money, costs again. Okay, so that I'll try to stay as a land immigrant. Okay, come inside. Right then and there, we had an interview, for 5 minutes. We put on the passport, land immigrants. All right, so I did write to the travel agency and said, I'm not coming back, I lost the ticket. And then I found myself a little job. I found myself a prep school in Montreal to prepare myself for the exams, which are quite different from the European standard. And then find a house which we taken with 2 French boys. And luckily, this house we done was in Park Avenue, which is about 5 minutes walk from the center. So I used to go down there most of the time because they give you free food. I was a vegetarian. It was very difficult to get vegetarian food. As a matter of fact, the first time I went in St. Lawrence Wood, it was a pizza. So I said, I can eat something vegetarian. So I didn't know. I said, can I have a pepperoni pizza? In Italian, pepperoni is what do you call it, the green, yeah, the green peppers, so I said, vegetarian. So I said, what's meat? I said, look, and I said, pepperoni. I said, this no, I said, pepperoni is yellow things, No. Okay, I said, sorry, I can't eat it, I'm vegetarian. So I had to eat another pizza. So, so I stayed here. The karma brought me here by chance. I was supposed to be here a couple of weeks and then go back to Europe. The agency played its role. Then the house was next door to the center. I used to go regularly, at least 3 times a week. Weekends, most of the time, I used to come up here. Also because girls are there, I didn't know anybody. Yoga I was vegetarian. I was practicing yoga, but still wanted to become a lawyer and do this. And so yoga was not on the mainstream, so to speak. So then finally in November, I was doing the final relaxation at the Montreal Center. It's a Lawrence Boulevard. And the idea came that yoga was my life. Very clear. To become a lawyer, you have to, as some of you, you have to all the time plan and scheme and how to convince everybody about this and that and that and that and that. You try to manipulate people's mind, that's it basically. Okay? And I said, no, that's enough, it's not for me. And the moment I felt that, I felt great peace inside. Nothing mystical, but peace of mind. That convinced me to stay. So I decided I'm going to stay here. It was November. I sent the news to my father and sister, etc. So, oh my God, I lost my son, you know, this North America, the hippies, the Beatles are there, all this story. I said, whoa, what's happened to my son? I said, nothing, see, it's all, you know, get up at 5:30, try to describe what we do here. And then finally, 3-4 years later, he came to see, he became vegetarian. He saw me chopping the trees here. Exactly, isn't it? Right back here, we are preparing the cross-country train for the winter with a chainsaw. So suddenly it appeared, he saw me with the chainsaw, and said, what are you doing? That's the life you're doing? I said, yeah, I'm quite happy. Then, you know, we spoke for a while, and he said, okay, teach me how to use a chainsaw. So, like Ganesha had to explain to Lord Shiva what Om is all about. I had to explain to my father what the chainsaw looks like. And so he was quite happy. So, long story short, it was all karma. In retrospective, I saw that I never meant to come to Canada. It was out of the question. I never contemplated the fact. But then I came here because the travel agent said, okay, your return is from here. Then I was to stay here about 10 days and go back. I met Swami Vishnu and probably planned the idea, stay here. When the immigration said, yes, you will be landed immigrant, boom. All the doors suddenly opened. And then, being close to the center, I used to go to the center quite often and get a free meal. Later on, only found out they're supposed to give a donation. I used to have a free ride. I didn't know, but then, you know, I had to cook a lot to pay my car. I became quite a good cook. So then, since then, it came in January 68, Christmas 68, he came up on the house which burned down, said, I needed staff to the Montreal Center. It was a girl, and she was a teacher, she was from Florida, and she couldn't stand the winter. And Swami Ramananda said, would you like to go to the Montreal Center? I said, yes, sure, why not? And on January 2nd, I went down to the Montreal Center and became staff. And then in 78, he sent me to India, said, thank you, bye-bye, go. That's it.